Hey everybody, this is Rydo, and we are back to another live stream of Hearthstone, and Gizmozo is already on the chat saying hey. For the first time in quite a while, YouTube actually announced that I was live in a realistic amount of time, just instantly, and clearly that is helpful for people, and I wish YouTube would work all the time the way it's supposed to work, but I guess that's asking too much. So, it's the only real problem today is my voice is a little rough and I may cough a lot, but I'll try and mute myself. Otherwise, we're doing good. We need to trade out the cheapest for the more expensive if we can. And we're not too bad. We need to play 10 elementals and win 7 games if people want to play me today. Hey, we even got a new friend request in there at some point. We can get that done rather quickly. There's not a lot of news today, so that is also going to limit us. If all else fails, I suppose we could try standard ranked play, but I really am not getting anywhere with that, so I think I'm just gonna have to fall back into the idea of not bothering, not really trying for ranked play, standard or whatever. I don't know what to do there. Like the nerfs are just around the corner. It's gonna nerf my Murloc deck. That means I need to figure out what the next top meta deck is. Maybe that's how we're just gonna play this going forward. I guess that would kind of work, is that we'll just say what's of the top meta decks, can I pick 1 or 2 of those and make them with the cards that I have and play those in ranked play, see if I can get a little bit higher. I think if we did that, that would at least keep it varied, even if I never really got much above rank 17 or rank 15. There's almost certainly a level of experience that I'm missing too, and I need to work on that, so I shouldn't probably just completely abandon playing ranked, even though I kind of want to, because it's incredibly frustrating and it's a lot of effort and time.
Reporting for duty.
Let's see. News-wise, I'm going to also try really hard to break up episodes here, because I haven't broken up episodes in a long time. News-wise, there's not a ton of stuff, so I'm
warning you. I'm unstable.
We'll try to get through all of that in this first episode also. So let me bring up the news on my second screen and bring up the chat on my cell phone. That way we can keep everything in order. Let's see. I don't know if I even mentioned it, but I don't want to get into the whole PewDiePie thing too much again, but he did put out a video explaining what he did with the DMCA takedown request. It seems like he's not going to dispute it, which I think is the wrong response, and it really sucks as a YouTuber to see that the probably richest and most influential YouTuber still is not willing to take this to court, and that just inherently proves that all of the YouTube community can be bullied by DMCA takedowns, false DMCA takedowns, and nobody's willing to take it to court. And PewDiePie said he'd almost certainly win. I think he'd definitely win if he took it to court, but instead he deleted the video, which YouTube clearly says when deleting the video doesn't do anything. So I don't even know, unless he's getting special information from YouTube, which is very possible. It seems like he did something really ridiculous. I think PewDiePie suffers terribly by not having a lawyer who he's talking to on probably at least monthly basis, a PR representative, if not an entire firm, who is talking to him and directing him and giving him advice on how to avoid things. Like, he should have a PR guy that looks at all of his footage before it even goes live, just to help him avoid running into issues. But yeah, he put his video out there, and then people like PC Gamer again completely misreported and mischaracterized it. The ethics in journalism, particularly around video games, is awful. It really, really is. They don't report things factually and accurately at all. They will editorialize. For instance, a good example of this is PC Gamer said PewDiePie gave backhand compliments to Firewatch, saying he liked the game. In the video, it is a complete... I take it as a direct, honest statement to say he liked the game. I imagine if you had asked anybody before any of this had happened whether PewDiePie liked the game, he would have said he liked the game. With no facts, a reporter should not call anything a backhanded compliment. You just quote the source and say what they say, and it's up for the reader to decide. And that's certainly not what they're doing. So yeah, it all kind of just boils down to a lot of reporters having an agenda and just wanting to push it. And that's pretty much all I need to talk about that. Scorn is getting way too much coverage. I imagine it is paying for it. There are far too many articles about this game. But there is also a PC Gamer article. I guess I'm going to eventually have to... I'm going to have to just stop looking at PC Gamers, because they have a terrible habit of covering things more like an advertisement than like a actual news story, and they talk about things over and over again, way beyond the point when they are relevant. Here's a Twit Longer. I didn't know Twit Longer still worked. Apparently there's... That really doesn't even have really anything to do with anything, though. It's not a video game story. And that's not a video game story either. Let's see. Let me zoom everything in. Man, I may have very little stories, because these articles and pages I had open were not related to video games. There we go. So that was 3 elementals and 3 damages. Not very helpful. If people want to play me, now would be a perfect time. Wow, Tactic Torn. Congratulations at your rank 4 play. Like, congratulations. That is nice rank play. Oh, I need it to be wild though. Well, I can take victories too, but I need to play elementals, and I have one deck specifically built around playing elementals.
Thrall versus Valera. Watch your...
Nope, that's not really an article or story either. Wow, there's literally no news here. Okay, I need to look at the chat. Can we want to play together? Play together. Thank you. I just played Jade Druid low. And see, that's the problem, is that they didn't really nerf Jade Druid too much, it doesn't seem, or they aren't going to. And I can't play Jade Druid, or I can't play the Jade Druid that everybody else is playing, so I probably wouldn't make too much progress even there. Like, Like, if I could play Jade Druid, that definitely for next month should be the top meta deck I should play. And I think that idea is gonna be how it goes. Is I'm just gonna the best meta deck that my cards can make. I'm gonna play every month. If that meta deck changes at all, but after that month, I'll play the new meta deck. Kevin Wu says, "Do I have to let you win?" You don't have to. It'd be nice. I didn't need 7 wins, but we can just play for fun if you want to play for fun. Like, we're early into a stream, I'll get 7 wins regardless. So play however you want. Let's see. Ray Legend has farming, monster taming, and co-op breeding. And it's looks kind of like Harvest Moon, Stardew Valley type thing. Is Re-Legend the game that is made by the creators of Harvest Moon, but they don't have the license to the name Harvest Moon? Because there is a game out there like that. I've just forgotten which one it was. Of course, Legend of Lumia apparently was also made by the same makers. So I guess keep an eye out for Re-Legend, RE:legend, if you're interested in something like that. And then I have a bunch of Gametsu things, so they're all going to be Japanese games. Oh yes, I need to end the turn. Man, I'm going to be so quickly done with the news. Square Enix launches new smartphone project from a Countdown website. Features weapons from various titles. Interesting. How could you have a game with weapons of... It could be a Soul Calibur game, I guess. Does weapons from Nier Automata, Romancing Saga, and more. It could be something like a fighting game with characters if they don't own Soul Calibur. Yeah, I guess that would work rather well. But who knows? There's a game called Gotuchi Tetsudo for Nintendo Switch. It's a Bandai Namco game that will probably come over under a different name. It was previously released for the 3DS and Wii U, so it's already been made. I think it's some kind of quiz show game or a digital board game, kind of like Mario Party, but not as prestigious. Yeah, I guess I can't really give too much information there. Let's see. Here's a retrospective story about how Carmen Sandiego became an educational game accidentally. That I'll read that myself, but that's really not news because it's not new, it's just looking backwards. ReZero Life in Another World in VR is coming to PlayStation VR and Steam VR. Headmaster, which was a exclusive PlayStation VR game, actually came to Steam, and that's a game where you bounce soccer balls with your head while wearing a virtual headset into targets. There you go. Kevin Wu asks on the chat, I'm going between the chat and the news, I'll start focusing 100% on the chat in a minute or two. Do you know your deck is getting nerfed because of the Murloc War Leader? It's making it so Murlocs don't gain extra health. That is absolutely correct, and I did know that. And that is part of my frustration that's going to come about. next when the nerf happens is this is my best deck, and absolutely it's gonna be not playable when they nerf it. So then my second best deck is probably gonna be some paladin deck or something else, or maybe it will still be the Murloc deck, and that's it. This month's Humble Bundle would have been good for me, but it's got a lot of duplicates. I've hit this point where most Humble Bundles are so full of duplicate games that I wouldn't feel really good having all of those. And I don't know what to really do with those extra codes. I wasted a Murloc there. Let's see. Let's just play this.
Job's done.
Yep, and as far as I see it, that's all the news. So now we can just focus on the chat 100%.
You cannot escape the shadow.
James Anderson came on and he said, I don't know if that's a smiley face or if that's a face with a mouth open. I guess maybe you could hover over it and it might tell you what it is. Open mouth is what it says. And then Kevin Wu said, congratulations, you hit 200 subs. Yep, I did. In all honesty, hitting 200 subs would be a lot more of a big things. Let's see. Sorry, I'm taking too long. It would be a much more exciting thing if it wasn't 2.5 to 3 years into my channel and YouTube has made it even more difficult to succeed. If I had 200 subs even 2 years ago, it would be a lot better of a lot more of a big deal. Now you need 1,000 subs before YouTube even really cares about you, and by the time I get to 1,000 subs, there's a chance they won't care about that, and they'll just move the number up. Kind of like Lucy in the Peanuts cartoon, just always pulling the soccer ball out from under Charlie Brown. But I am happy to have 200 subs, certainly. I wish that directly translated to at least 100 views on every video, but it doesn't. 301 was the old number, so if I was getting 301 subs and each of those subs was watching every video at least once, that's when it's time to start getting excited. But it's all part of the snowball effect too, so I don't want to underplay it, it's just I don't want to overplay it too. Let me double check that Nightbot is actually playing the music, because man, that doesn't, yeah, it wasn't actually playing the music, I don't think. But see, James Anderson says fight me, clickbait, circle with arrows, circle with arrows. I don't know what James Anderson is talking about. Have I put out a video to get more views? Circle with arrows. I put little emojis when I can find one that looks appropriate at the beginning of my series, but when you do emojis, the only way anybody would be able to search for an emoji is if they typed an emoji into either a YouTube search on their phone, or they typed an emoji into Google or YouTube on their desktop, which is very unlikely to happen. It may happen more and more in the next couple of decades, but putting an emoji in your name is not going to actually get you any more views. Clickbait sort of works, but it also just ruins your credibility too, and it can very easily backfire and cause you to lose your entire channel. So it's not something that I feel is an ethical way to go ahead, and if it just is going to boil down to you have to act unethically to succeed on YouTube, I'd prefer just not succeed at YouTube. This will be interesting. Alright, you think you can beat me this way? Let's see what happens.
Job's done.
There's you missed lethal, by the way. You could have used bloodlust to win, says Karen. Yeah, I thought about that after the fact, after I played the first card and couldn't play bloodlust because I wasn't paying attention. I was gonna play the Murloc that costs 6 mana somehow, and then play bloodlust. I was going to play Corrupted Seer, then Bloodlust, and I obviously can't do math.
Cards. My hand is too full.
See now the power of the Dark Fallen.
Are these cards, I wonder, maybe supposed to be played right when you're out of cards? Is that the idea? Is that they're trying to have a whole series of cards that would be great last-minute savings? But yeah, the thing about YouTube too is clickbait won't really save you or make you popular because they literally aren't putting your results, your search results, in front of people. You're just not coming up in the search results at all until you're big. So only the big people show up in search results anyways, and that's because most people that are searching for things do want the big YouTubers. And you can see that's clearly the case, because if you go type in like Minecraft video, you don't get a random Minecrafter that has 3 subscribers. You get the top Minecraft players, because that's what people watch, and that's what the algorithm is determined people want to watch. So it's a snake eating its own tail, just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And you just have to you just have to kind of struggle and get the small number of views it does give you. I have no idea what I'm doing here. I need to pay attention. Stealth. So yeah, 200. Hopefully we'll get to 300 or 400 very quickly. I've seen a lot of channels that have 200 friends. Kevin Wu said good game. He's figured out a way to fatigue me to death, I believe. He was saving up for this. if in the next 6 months we got to 400 subs, that'd be fine. Like I was saying, I have seen people that have 200 friends where they just get everybody in their school to subscribe to their channel, and then they put out maybe 5 videos and that's it. Or people that just buy fake subs for some reason, and that's it. Fun playing with you. I'm gonna play with a friend. See ya. That's fine. Anybody else want to play right now before I hop back into playing ranked, or a little bit of ranked? What would I be playing? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It is just gonna have to come down to like a very short amount of time. James Anderson says, "Fight me." Alright, send me a challenge. James Anderson, I don't know who you are, so the names. Send me that challenge. Quick, quick, quick. I need to play this deck and play elementals, so send me a wild challenge. The Americas account has some pretty easy challenges other than 7 victories. 7 victories used to be incredibly difficult. Where are you, James? Where are you? Can't challenge right now. Waiting for him to... well... I'm waiting. I'm waiting here. There we go. His name is D Long, or DV Long. Are you the one, though, that has the incredibly bad internet? Or was having internet troubles before? At a certain point, I can't play people if their internet is just downright garbage. And I think DV Long was the one. Like, I want to be helpful, I want to play fans and all, but it's not fair to all the other fans that are trying to watch if all they're doing is watching an incredibly long thing. And see, you just went offline. Your internet is too bad. I don't think I can play you until your internet gets better. I'm sorry, but I can't play somebody whose internet takes this long. This is unacceptably below average. Way too long. Just to even start. Yeah. So, apologies, but no. Ooh. In a weird way, I guess we need to chat just to kind of help the rest of the show go. Otherwise, this is going to be a moderately short show because there was no news. Maybe there was like one news article, something I saw that wasn't a YouTube tab. Let's see if I can find that. Today I learned that an average 8-hour workday, the average worker is productive for 2 hours and 53 minutes. Wow, by that ratio, I'm much more productive than most. I'd believe that. There's a lot of jobs out there where you don't actually do anything. You're just waiting to react to things, or just sitting around pretending to work. That's why you will occasionally run into a lot of people who think it's fine just to browse and watch YouTube all day, and there's certainly some jobs that seem to be okay with that.
So fun.
Nope. Whatever that was, if that was an article, it's gone now. Hi, we need to do damage to the face and win, so we can focus. James Anderson just came back on 4 minutes later and said, "Internet too slow. Hold on." If you can fix your internet, good, and I'll try and play you again. But honestly, if it's just this is how your internet always is, I think some ground rules probably are eventually going to have to just be put down along the lines of don't bother trying to play me if you're playing on a cell phone connection. You need to be on Wi-Fi if you're playing on the cell phone. Have at least 10 megabits download and 2 megabits upload if you're going to play me. If I was just to pick some random numbers out of the air. And that's relatively low numbers. And don't have, maybe pause the video on the YouTube or close the YouTube stream, because if you're watching me, as I imagine a lot of people are who want to play me, that's potentially draining your internet also. So just close the video, play the game, and then open the video again, unless you know for a fact that your internet is good enough to play Hearthstone and not see really any effects of that. Any effects of it being slowed down while you stream a video. Like,
Go fish.
but I guess those kind of hard rules will have to be made eventually, but I'm not going to really do that. I tried a little experiment on Discord, not the Discord that I have, but I entered another Discord chat and tried to talk to people, and it was slow and dull. So I still don't really understand Discord, but I tried to understand it. So, like, there was only 3 people chatting, and I feel like that's probably a pretty large chance of how a lot of Discord channels goes, that there's only going to be 3 or 4 people online and at a time. I have looked at the Discord I set up, and there's barely 5 comments on it, so it's something that will probably grow. Again, if I had like 1,000 subscribers, I imagine 1,000 people on the Discord channel would keep a conversation going for a reasonable amount of time. But I think adoption of Discord probably needs to also be sped up for something like that to happen. And see, I only need to play 3 more elementals, and after that we can just play ranked play, and so we can say goodbye to my soon-to-be nerfed Murloc deck and just see how high I can potentially get. Maybe we can have a really rare instance of me actually succeeding in ranked play on screen, because I really only do good when people aren't looking, and it does kind of feel like I could just be bringing in a professional Hearthstone player to play my account later when people aren't watching. And I honestly, if I could do that, I would do that, but it simply isn't the case. Like, if I had somebody I could trust not to spend all my gold in or buy real money packs and just play my account and get it up higher in ranked, I'd let them do it all the time. but they would probably want to get paid or just do their own YouTube channel. There's really no reason why they would have any motivation to help me that way.
The legions I command.
You want to cast a spell? I want to cast a spell.
I've been playing very consistently the past 3 days a game called the Black Mirror, which there's 3 of them, and Black Mirror 1, 2, and 3, and THQ Nordic is going to reboot it in November. So this is going to air in October. It's right at the about the right time for something like that to air, and it's supposed to be this point-and-click adventure with some horror-esque themes, but really it isn't. It is just this really slow point-and-click adventure that has a lot of talking, a lot of voice acting. It's a Czech game, and apparently the highest-selling Czech game ever, but that may not really mean much because it may be one of 5 Czech games that exist in the world. And I've just been going over and over again, and it does some really cruel things. When you're about to end a chapter, it usually throws a puzzle at you where you can die, and it doesn't autosave you at any point. And it's like 15 hours into the game now. Like, 15 hours for a point-and-click adventure game is ridiculously way too much. It's usually a point-and-click adventure game goes 5 hours at most, and this thing is just dragging on and on and on, and it's like, oh, this is boring. But I don't want to just rage quit it. It's not annoying enough to be a rage quit type game, but it's not fun. And the writing is horrible. It feels like it is just completely badly translated from Czech into English. But even if that is the case, it doesn't really fix the problem of the gameplay itself not being good. There's inherent flaws in the puzzle design where you need to get an item. The item is 3 scenes away from you, so you have to travel through 3 scenes, which takes some time. Then you get the item. Then you need to go back to the place you started from 3 scenes. When you get back there, you realize the item doesn't quite work the way you thought it was going to, so you need to go do something else. So then you have to go back again to 3 scenes away to get something else that you couldn't have picked up before, and it just consistently happens that way. Like, there's no end to the amount of time this game is willing to waste. And killing a player at the end of a chapter with no autosaves potentially means that you've played for 12-13 hours of a game and then died and would have to start at the beginning if you'd never saved. And they don't even make it easy to find the save button, because to get to the menu you have to click up here in the top right where there's a gear, but the rest of the top bar is just black, so it seems like there's no menu. For the first hour I really believe there was no save functionality at all in the game. I thought, oh, they're just gonna have to play it as it is. And finally I looked at it. I've had to, as is the case with many point-and-click adventure games, I've had to cheat a lot, and that is certainly not fun when you have to just contest. About every hour I'm having to go to a walkthrough and just look up the answer because I'm too frustrated to try and find a solution by myself, or the solution is just too complicated. And it's not that the solutions are complicated because of the number of elements in them. They're complicated because often you just need to go talk to somebody. So the solution may seem obvious to the player, but it's not obvious enough to the main character, therefore you have to go talk to somebody to explain the solution to you. There's 2 specific puzzles in Black Mirror that require you to have some pretty specific outside knowledge. One, you have to put all of the planets in order in the solar system in order of space size. So off the top of your head, I don't think it's general knowledge that you'd be able to say is Venus smaller than Mars or bigger. Like, you can get general ideas. Most people should probably know Jupiter is the biggest one, but very easy to not know all of it. And they make that puzzle even more difficult because it colors each of the planets in weird colors you wouldn't generally expect. So, like, I don't think Mars is red. Mars is known for being the red planet. I don't think it's red. I don't think Earth is blue. Earth is mostly blue water. It should be blue. And so they're different colors than what you'd expect. Was a very difficult puzzle. I had to look up the solution. And it really was the first puzzle in the game for the first 5 hours. So you finally ran into a puzzle, and the puzzle sucked and was too difficult, which that's just not good game design. This game was made in 2003, so it's pretty old, and a reboot is in line, mostly just for the name of it. The reason I bought the game is obviously Netflix has the TV series The Black Mirror, which I haven't seen, and it would be nice actually to instead spend my time watching that TV 3 seasons now of it than it would be to continue playing the game. But yeah, with that name recognition, they're going to do something with the Black Mirror. And in the general idea, the concept's not bad. It's just it was implemented very poorly. The other puzzle that was incredibly difficult required you to know the exact order and every symbol of the zodiac, which is not something I have direct memorization of. And you had to move a slide puzzle around in the order of the zodiac, and I'm like, this is not realistic for an average person to know this. But yeah, I'm still playing Black Mirror, and I want to finish it. I don't think I'm going to play Black Mirror 2 anytime soon. Black Mirror 2 is made by a different company, and so is 3, so maybe those are big improvements on the idea. Clearly, most people probably haven't even heard of the Black Mirror, but it is some niche popularity of a game. Let's see, how do we want to do this? Summon? Probably should have hit this first. And once I finish the Black Mirror, though, I need to do some major paperwork and scheduling. I've thought about just live streaming me doing the paperwork and scheduling videos, but that would be incredibly boring, except for to a very small group of other YouTubers, and it would probably somehow release some private information that shouldn't be allowed out there. But the reason why I'd want to live stream something like that is because it is a considerable amount of work I do that people don't get to see. But that doesn't mean anything. Like, obviously some work should be done and not visible, even for a YouTuber that wants to get as much content out there. But once everything is scheduled and ready to go, which, like, I am running out of time, I wouldn't even be surprised if I'm like 2 or 3 days away from something screwing up and not airing on time. Once I have all of that scheduled, I need to do whatever I'm gonna do for November, and I really haven't fully thought of that.
We're gonna be rich.
Alright, well, I think we're gonna potentially have a short stream here. I need to break up after this game. Break up the recordings. But right now on the chat, nobody said anything for 16 minutes. We had James and his internet's falling apart. And we had Kevin Rue who went and played somebody else. And then Nightbot has decided to stop saying anything at all. Which is a little odd. Maybe Nightbot's still having trouble with the timers. Gizmozo said hi, hey. Does Gizmozo ever say anything else though? Like, or does he just say hi? And if I stay here long enough, I'm sure Red Phoenix will come on and he'll want to chat too. But I don't know. Like, we're gonna do some ranked play and try to get the victories, and then less and less it doesn't really matter to do the other accounts now. I can easily do those off screen. So just some consideration here. I guess if in the next 45 minutes nobody says anything on the chat, that'll be the end, and I think that's fair enough. That's going to be it for this recording, though. Stay tuned if you're watching live. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.